Okay, Neil, thank you very much for being involved in the International NLP Trainers Association study on modelling excellence and eye pattern recognition.
You're welcome.
You're a teacher, and I'd like you to answer the 4 following questions, please.
Sure.
Firstly, what is your motivation behind being a teacher?
My motivation behind being a teacher, I think, lies from my interest to see pupils achieve the maximum, and I feel that I have acquired the skills necessary to help children of all abilities from all backgrounds to try and achieve their full potential.
Okay, thank you. And in terms of teaching, who do you aspire to?
I think I aspire to fellow colleagues I've seen in the past who I feel have got all the all-round skills necessary. I still feel I'm some way short of acquiring all of those skills, but I think I try to set standards for myself based on colleagues in the past who I feel have reached sort of the pinnacle of their career, and that, you know, that means all the skills necessary for teaching. That includes you know, being able to interact confidently with all children, motivating all children, being very skilled practitioners, and also being able to, probably more recently, being able to delegate and manage effectively, as that's a career that I'm sort of aiming in at the moment.
Okay, thank you. And you've been chosen for this study because you are a role model, and I know that you also do peak performance in other aspects of your life, so I know that you're a goalkeeper as well. How do you define peak performance in your everyday life?
Peak performance in my everyday life comes from the standards that you set yourself. If you are honest within yourself, I feel you have standards that you aspire to based on the experiences that you've had, the discussions you've had with people, the feedback that you've received from people, and as a result you end up with a set of values that define you. And how I apply that to my everyday life is if I feel that I'm using the skills and abilities that I've acquired and applying that to everyday situations in my workplace or on the social front or in the sporting capacity, then I feel that I can never be too down on myself if I can achieve the standards that I've set.
Okay.
But also accepting that it's impossible to aspire to those standards and achieve those standards all the time.
Okay. So in relation to that, what would you describe as the principal standard?
Principal standard is an honesty about realistic expectations and about what you feel you personally can achieve, and that's difficult to define because there's a whole that encompasses quite a few different things. But I would imagine, I personally think it's about the standards that which you can aspire to and that you set for yourself and maintaining those. And I think what's difficult sometimes is being able to maintain those standards because obstacles come in the way of that, and that's obstacles that you can have no control of. And I think if I was to aspire to reaching high standards, I feel that would be a result of overcoming obstacles based on perhaps discussions with other people, perhaps aiming to try and surpass the skills that I've already reached or that I've already acquired.
Okay. Excellent, thank you, Neil. And just in relation to your profession, can you finish this statement? Teaching is like.
Teaching is like a light bulb switching on from a pupil, which can sometimes be lying dormant for a long time, but can sometimes. Teaching is about seeing the effect of your input on a pupil when you least expect it.
Okay. And final question: if someone was starting in teaching now, and you being in situ as a role model for them, and I know you have student teachers, don't you? What would be the one piece of advice you'd give to an aspiring teacher as a teaching role model?
The main bit of advice I'd give to a young aspiring teacher would be to understand and accept that you are going into a profession where it is children who you see day in, day out, who you'll be working with 95% of the time, and as a result of that, try and put yourself in their position. Each day you come into work, think about what they may have come from. Think about the range of experiences that they may have had, and think of your profession in a way where you are going to most impact upon those children by trying to get into tune with the way that they're thinking.
Okay, Neil, thank you very much for partaking in the Modelling Excellence and Eye Pattern Recognition project. Thanks a lot, mate. Brilliant.
You're welcome.
Well done. Thanks, Trish. We all done?